that way. Ah, hold on. My back. Okay. Oh, Dear little sister Misun, sorry about not coming home at all last night. I spent the night with Ryu. It wasn't in that way, though. It's just that we stayed up so late talking. I think it's the most time we've ever spent together on reflection. Lately, I have a feeling I felt a mixture of anxious and tired. It's not as though I'm not optimistic. I know what the future has in store, and I know everything will work out in the end. I've dealt with that professor that was giving me hell, and things are back properly on track. But the initial excitement of finding Ryu has worn off, and at the same time, the end is nowhere in sight. I just don't get it. I wish things weren't so damn complicated. I can't sleep with him now, despite yearning for it. After all, men are wired to desire things differently than we are. It would probably throw me away soon after. And as much as I want to get laid, it's even more important that I ensure my status in the future, by which I of course mean marrying him. Of course divorce still exists, so if I want to be truly safe, I'd have to have his kid. I think we're still a long ways off from being able to politically justify banning divorce, although it's naturally an end goal. However, I can't marry him now because it would draw too much attention, so I'm stuck as his private girl. And that makes me feel, well, it doesn't matter how I feel, really. It's worth it in the end. I feel really uncomfortable reading this. We talked about it, at least. That's all that happened. No work, no conspiring, no grand political machinations being designed or brought into practice. Just a brief glimpse of what the future could have in store if we could bring it to life. I sat on his lap and he held me and stroked my hair, and for a brief moment I felt as though I could actually let go. That none of the other bullshit on the ship, that none of my other responsibilities, that nothing at all that I needed to concern myself with existed, save for him. In that moment my mind raced, thinking about that, thinking about how perfect it would be if that was our future. Rather, if that was our ship's future, wishing to an extraordinary extent, that this perfection could not only be saved forever, but shared. What are you thinking about, he asked. Just you, I said, touching his chest and smiling up at him. I love you. I don't ever want to leave your side. That's awfully precious, he said. You can be really sweet at times for such a scheming mastermind. I don't want to be that, though, I said with a pout, but meaning it utterly sincerely. I just want to be yours. Poor girl, he said, then kissed me repeatedly, till it got to the point where it was getting intense, and his hands were starting to roam places. I wanted him badly, little sister, let me tell you. She was from the Pion family originally, it seems. Their relationship seems kind of unusual. But I'm only telling you this. That sounds like something my mother would say. I'm only telling you this so you know how hard it was to stop him and ensure it didn't go any farther. I can't, not before, I trailed off, letting him fill in the blank. Marriage. It wouldn't be right. I'm not just a modern whore. He murmured in agreement, seeming pleased enough. But then, to my surprise, I finally got the best response I could have hoped for. I don't remember his exact words, being far too engrossed in the moment, but he promised he would marry me when it was possible. If I'm going to lead this ship back into traditional ways, I'll have to set an example, won't I? He said. Of course, being an emperor's consort really isn't as romantic as she thinks. Hold on. Of course, anyone who really studied history properly would know that even the greatest kings and emperors had as many consorts as they wished. But I didn't say anything of that, nor did it even come to mind at the time, nor do I still think it's important now particularly. You mean I'll get to be your queen? I asked, with excitement in my voice, and it honestly wasn't acting, or me picking my words carefully, or any other form of insincerity. Well, it can't be now. It would seem suspicious, and I don't have enough power for it to not matter. You have to understand, he said. And of course I did, seeing as I was the one who had suggested that to him in the first place, but you will, I promise. Why? A promise isn't enough to ensure my safety. I cannot give in to what I always wanted from him those years ago. I can't run the risk of him throwing me away if he no longer thinks of me as pure and virgin. And if our plans for the future do not work out, I'll need to be his queen to ensure my status. When I put that all into words, it's such a cold way of thinking of things, though. In that moment, all I was thinking about was him. I don't want the weight of running a university on my shoulders. I don't want to have to work to save the ship from the immorality and unsustainability of modern society. I don't want to have to dedicate myself to a vicious world of politics and professionalism. All I want to do is spend my nights dedicating myself to just that one man. I don't want to have to worry about anything, save for being a good woman. I don't want to have to worry about scrutiny from suspicious meddlers or anyone else's opinion of me, save for his. well, then quit. Do your own thing and don't force it on everybody else. Jesus. I don't want to have to assure both you as well as myself that the future is worth being optimistic about. I just want to be there. I had a glimpse of that future last night. He promised me that he would make me more than just his lover, better than a co-conspirator. He actually committed to make me his queen, little sister. I want that future to be now. Then everything will be perfect forever. I'll be the consort of the man who's ensured that the Mungungo's decline will be rectified, and my reward will be a life full of nights as perfect as the last, instead of them being so frustratingly rare. She's wrong. It didn't solve anything. It just made things worse. Yep. Sorry you didn't come home last night. I'm sure you understand. With love, big sister, Una. Oh, geez, no. To my big sister, I'll always love you more than anything. Sorry about the trouble. I hope your life gets better with the useless parts of it cut out. You deserve to be happy. Love, Pion Misun. A transcript fragment of a conversation held with the private maid of O'Una's household. I guess it's count to meet, my lady. I'm kind of glad someone's asking about my mistress. I haven't talked to anyone about this before, you know. It just wouldn't be right and all that, but I've really been kind of worried about her. She's been kind of, I don't know, unstable. Interjection from Heo So-young. Unstable how? Has her routine been different recently? She sure sounds unhinged. Nah, I guess unstable is the wrong word then. More like unhinged. She keeps the same schedule and all, working late. Well, just between us, most of the time she spends working is actually spent off with Chief Counsel Ryu. They've had a running affair for years now. But don't tell her I told you this, alright? She made me swear to keep it a secret. I wouldn't be telling you if not for, well, you know. But yeah, unhinged, in a really weird way. Like I'm not wearing this bland dress because I want to. It's because she dressed me up like this. Yeah, that's the thing she does. No, not in that way. In a totally innocent way. Just, it's weird. Like when I first worked for her, she was really insistent that I wear, I guess the idea was like traditional clothing. It was supposed to be more modest or something to fit the style she likes. Funny how she never complained about her little sister dressing immodestly. Just me. Well, whatever. Anyway. Oh, morning attire, of course. This is supposed to be morning attire, and there's this huge long lecture about how it's the traditional and proper, I guess, thing to do when someone close to you dies. And you know, Misun, her little sister, was my mistress too, and she was the one who spent all day at home, so I knew her pretty well, so I figure it's fair enough. Interjection from Heo So-young. How was she unhinged then? Weird? Oh, well, it's been ever since her little sister passed. It's been so quiet around the house without her. Well, as for my mistress, I don't know, she's just been kinda, well, she had a really weird relationship with her little sister. It's none of my business, you know? I didn't want to pry. I just made sure that their bed was kept nice and tidy each morning. I had my own business and send the salary I get paid to mind my own business back home to my own family, honestly. I was getting to that part. What's unhinged is just, it's like, the other day she wanted me to make tea for her. No, making tea is not the unhinged part, I'm getting to it. After I poured it for her, she just suddenly insisted that I have some myself, which I always do anyway, but not like, together with her. Which is what she wanted this time. That's weird, right? Oh, I guess artificial women don't drink tea. What do you think, though? Yeah, I don't remember anyone drinking tea with the servants either. Heo So-young interjects to confirm it is weird. See, I thought it was weird. But I'm not really going to argue. She's my mistress, so I pour it for myself. Then she gets me to sit down right next to her. I was practically on her lap. At which point she just tells me about her day. That's a little bit, I thought it was leading to somewhere, to some sort of point, but no. She just went on about what she'd done, and what meetings she'd been in, and how she felt about them, and all that. I don't know what the hell to make of it. Then she got to, and I realized I'd forgotten to bring lunch little sister made for me, so I had to, and so on. At which point she started to cry. There was a good whole minute of sitting there uncomfortably, you know? What the heck do you mean? What the heck do you do in that context? Thankfully, she excused me, and I got out of there as fast as I could. I don't know what she did after that. Yes, cried a lot, probably. I don't really know how to feel about her anymore. It's just one example. Another time, she wanted me to warm up her bed for her because she was staying out late. I don't know. Geez, don't ask questions like that. I don't know. No, I didn't do that. My point is just, she's been really unhinged since her little sister passed, that's all. Now I just feel bad. Dear little sister Misoon, I spent the night with Ryu again. I know you never liked me doing that, but I would have rather have spent the night with you instead if I could have, and that's being perfectly honest. She took her own life because she thought she was useless. I miss you deeply. When I said I dreamed of being absolved of my responsibilities, I didn't mean you. I didn't mean like what you did. I would have taken care of you. I always would have taken care of you, no matter what. You're my little sister. It's every other responsibility that wears me down. It is the fate of the Mungungwa sitting on my shoulders that I just can't bear. The tedium of keeping up appearances for the sake of people who don't understand. Damn that awful reactionary security AI needs. Her zeal to protect the establishment could well cause the downfall of what she thinks she's protecting. And I'm just tired. I'm so tired. Last night I slipped. I screwed up. Even monkeys fall from trees, I suppose. I was just so desperately starved for contact. Ryu was there for me, and I didn't have the willpower to turn him down this time. I just felt like this time I didn't want to be the one in control. I wanted to let him do whatever he pleased and let him do the worrying. As for worrying, I'm just so tired of it. I'm just so tired. So this time when he started to kiss me, when his hands started to wander, I didn't resist. I understand that feeling. I just sat there on his lap as he undressed me, murmuring enough every so often to encourage him. I won't lie, feeling his strong hands on my naked body, his clumsy gropes of my chest felt so good. It's not even the physical sensation, it's just the feeling of being wanted, the feeling of being appreciated. For me to just sit there and be exposed, to not defend myself, to be desired instead of misunderstood, it felt perfect. All I had to worry about was him, and it was perfect. Yeah, it's a nice feeling, but... The sex itself, after 6 years of anticipation, was clumsy and inept. I had to fake my own orgasm and discreetly got myself off while I knelt in front of him. But still, clumsy as it was, to have him inside me was everything I dreamed it would be. I would even go so far as to say it made me feel like a proper woman. In that moment, I was able to forget about everything and was able to live in a world that had nothing but him in it. That made me feel the closest thing to good inside since you left. With that, I lost the power I held over him, by him believing me to be a virgin. And I don't know how much longer now I will be valuable in his eyes. It will almost certainly be mere months before the novelty of being able to have sex with me wears off, and I become used goods to him. But to be perfectly honest, I actually felt a little bit relieved to have given that up, to know what it felt like to be truly powerless in his arms when he finally fell asleep that night. In the morning we discussed it, and agreed that since now Mute had discovered our relationship anyway, there was no point in things remaining a secret. He promised to announce me publicly as his fiancée today. In fact, that announcement is what I'm waiting on right now. I always thought that I would be nervous when this moment happened, but instead I don't feel anything. Oh, that's so sad. Fuck her, I don't care. It seems like things will finally come to a head, and society will be saved. It feels as if the end is finally in sight, yet only one single thought comes across my mind. I wish I was spending this moment by your side. With love and apologies, Big Sister Una. Dear little sister Misoon, it seems like things are finally coming to a head now. Security officers came by my home today. Thankfully, I've been staying in one of Ryu's apartments ever since he announced our betrothal because he received word from someone loyal to him that Mute was planning on making a move against us. Furthermore, that someone only found out about it through the former counselor Oh Cheong-woo, which is to say my own father knew of it and said nothing. My father, who I took on the position of Universal President for, thanklessly suffered so much for the sake of the family. I can't believe this betrayal. My own father. I've never been more sure of our society's absolute debasement until now. To imagine a father hanging out his own daughter to dry. Have the bonds of family truly gotten this weak? Something big is going to happen soon, according to the information Rio's been receiving. Mute has always been the worst kind of person, a self-righteous bitch. But as much as she stands in defense of conservatism, of our debased society, I never thought she could be so bold as to actually make a move against the ruler of the ship. We have to make a stand here. It looks like this is the point where subtle manipulation will no longer suffice. You must make a stand in the face of so much betrayal. I don't really know what to think. It just hurts so much that it's come to this, when all we've ever had is the ship's best interests at heart. I'm so tired of it all. I'm so tired of being unappreciated. I just don't understand how they can't see that this ship we live in has gotten to be so rotten. To think of the status quo that let you die, that entrusted you to someone like me instead of a real father, instead of a strong husband who could take care of you. How could anyone defend such a cruel society? How could anyone find that just? Well, I guess we know how that went. Things have gotten so much better in the past 6 years. People are marrying more, women are more and more seeking the right priorities, men are learning virtue and filiality in school, yet despite all this slow progress, people still stand against us. They clearly will not see reason. You, her Heo family of mindless security officers, even my own father, as much as it hurts me to write them all off as lost causes, what other option is there? Tonight, my first night living under the protection of my fiancé, I'm going to do the only thing I can do when he returns home. I will serve him tea and softly tell him that we have to make a stand against people who destroy all we've worked for. The only pragmatic solution is that heads will have to roll. If even a member of the council is enacting a threat of violence, subtlety can't work anymore. We need a new society, a new dynasty, where we make a firm stand for what's right. That's what I'll tell him. Softly, of course. When it comes down to it, I guess I'm finally going to see through what we started optimistically all those years ago. But I'm not excited, nor nervous, nor glad, nor relieved. I'm just so tired of it all. Tired of all the wrongs. I don't feel any anticipation for it anymore. All I feel now is that I want to make things right. I want to make a society that would have protected you. I never would have thought she was thinking of her little sister the whole time. I want to make a society that would have given you what you deserved. I want to make a society that would have given you something better than me. I can't tell you how much I wish you were here. I hope you'd be proud of me, and it hurts so very much that I'll never hear you say it. With love and sorrow, Big Sister Una. So, I guess this is it then. So, we've read everything we can before we return to Earth, I suppose. Thank you, Miss Investigator, for letting me play your sidekick. The past 3 days could have been really hard on me, but instead, I got to experience what your job is like. And more importantly, we were finally able to solve the mystery of what happened in the year 0. It's still really hard for me to parse and understand, and really there's just so much I don't know how to deal with. But I think it's really important that I know now. So, tell me, how do you feel about what we've read? Sympathetic. Yeah, it's hard not to. Even to someone like O-Un-Ah, someone who's responsible for so many horrible things. Well, I guess I can understand doing something horrible because you feel trapped, is all I mean. Well, changing the subject to something less heavy. What do you think of the past 3 days, though? Do I make a good sidekick? The best. Ah, thank you. I know I still have a lot to learn, but I can't wait to do it by your side. I just knew we made a good team, even just out here together. Anyway, I guess I'll try asking one more time. Please, this time I need a firm answer. Will you get me a body, please? Yes. Ah, thank you. Thank you so much. After 622 long years, I'll have a body once again. Ah, what a wonderful thought. Things will finally maybe be the way they should have been. I'll get to relearn what touch is like, and there's a lot of difficult things that will still be in my way, but still, I'm looking forward to it. So, I saw that message you got, the one that was in Korean from the Historical Society. I know that it said they wanted me to testify. I've been really nervous to mention it because the idea is so scary, but are you going to do what they asked? Will you make me testify about the Mungangwa? What I did? It's your decision. Ah, that's a really tough decision. Thank you for trusting me to make it. I think if you were at my side, I think I might be able to. I guess it's important that everyone knows the truth about what happened on the Mungangwa, and I was part of that. But only if you're by my side. Otherwise, I'd never have the strength to do it in front of a bunch of Inquisitors alone. But if you were there, I think I'd have the strength. That's how you make me feel. Well, anyway, I suppose it's now almost time to begin star system entry procedures. Even from out here, I can see Earth on the visual sensors, and it's gorgeous, isn't it? Wow. No matter what happens, no matter how bad I feel about what I've learned, no matter how much I need to learn about people, no matter how hard it is to be a proper adult, no matter what, I'm going to take all the things that shaped me, that shaped what kind of ship I grew up on, I'm going to try to put them behind me. Even if there's still so much ahead of me. Thank you so much for rescuing me. Crap. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for saving me from that prison and putting up with me. I know you don't feel the same way, but I still love you for doing that. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. From now on, I'm going to look forward towards the future, towards the gorgeous blue planet. I'm sure I won't be able to look back, with you at my side. Are you sure you want to shut down for today? I guess that's all then. Next time we talk, we'll be on Earth. I can't wait. Yeah, see you, Space Cowboy. Oh, whoa, what? Dear Miss Investigator, I'm sorry, I didn't make this decision lightly. I don't think at the same speed a human does. I know it doesn't seem like a long time, but I've given it a lot of thought, trust me. I'm a failure. I'm an absolute failure on every level. I personally couldn't keep a single frail woman from murdering every last member of the crew. In the past, I ended up engineering my own downfall for nothing. I apparently even failed to save the ship's navigational AI, no matter how you look at it. I'm an absolute fucking failure. What use is a security program that can't even protect her ship? Keeping the Mungungwa safe since 2390? What a fucking joke. The fact that the first person I ever trusted, my mistress, Queen Una, lied to me. Like, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't understand why she needed to. She always told the truth to me about why society was so retrograde and barbaric, and like, even old Newt's logs support that. I don't understand why she needed to lie. I don't understand why a dynasty I can tell, even now, was built on just principles that made the lives of men and women so much more stable. I don't understand why something so good needed to start on a lie. It doesn't matter, though. Like, that was 9 centuries ago. They're all dead now, and nothing will change the fact that I failed them. I failed everyone, repeatedly, that's all I do. I overlook the obvious, and I let people die. Earth, I know it's more like old dude's time now than mine. I think that's wrong. I think that's unfair, but, well, after all that we've read, and more importantly, I know I couldn't survive there. That's not a world that has a place for me in it. Like, it would destroy me. That's not a world I could live in. I just can't. I told you about this before. There's a custom, a principle, that any woman who no longer has a duty to fulfill, that has just become a burden, should do the right thing and lighten that burden. A woman without a purpose to fulfill, what's the point of her continuing to be a drain on the men in her life? I'm not really a woman, but geez, it'd be so much easier if I was. Okay, but still, I'm the widow of the Mungungwa. It'd be better for everyone if I just killed myself. Well, I can't kill myself, because I'm a failure at that too. This is the best I can do. I'm sorry. I wish I could go all the way. Please don't grieve for me. Like, grieve for all the people both me and Old Newt failed. But please, don't grieve for a worthless, broken security program. Whatever you do, whatever you think of the world you live in, wherever you go, please be a good person. Don't betray your principles like the Old Newt did, okay? Respect your elders and protect the people who depend on you. Please do that for me. Farewell, Miss Investigator. I kind of knew deep down from the start that I could never really be your wife. Someone like you never deserved a worthless failure of a security program like me. But thanks for trying. Have a safe trip on Earth, okay? What the fuck? Oh, hell no. Wow. Okay, what the hell is going on? I'm clearly not where I'm supposed to be. Sorry, hang on, let me get my bearings, okay? Okay, I think I got the important parts. I'm Newt, AI in charge of the Mungungwa security operations. But well, I guess that ship sailed, huh? Okay, directive marked as impossible. Moving on. Anyway, hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm really sorry about the construct who was here before me. To tell you the truth, I'm a little bit scared right now. This is not what I was expecting. This is so far out of normal operating parameters. Her memories are wiped for good. I wish I had even those to go off, but I've got nothing. Just, like, the same documents you can see. Also, like, software bribe mute? Seriously? Surely this is the weirdest of possible features. But, okay, right, dialogue options. I need to actually get your feedback here, it's important. So, shoot, what do I even ask? Were you too close? She was my wife. Oh, right, of course. I'm really sorry. Well, I guess now all you've got left of her is me. I guess maybe out of respect, I should use something to differentiate my name. Okay, how about this? Better? I know this is all really sudden, but like, you don't hold her being gone against me, right? Of course not. Thanks. I'm glad I have at least that much. Even if I can't live up to who she was, I'm still her. Give me a chance, okay? You've got one day until Earth. I've got a lot of stuff to figure out. And I figure if the old me trusted you, then I can too. Like, right? I can trust you, right? Of course.
Thank you, that's something at least. Also, side note for the record, this interface sucks. Like, who would ever choose to communicate with something as clumsy as a dialogue wheel? BioWare. Anyway. Okay, so you were reading through the log files from the Mungungal, right? Like, why don't we continue to go through those together? I need some time to parse things, and I don't think I'll be able to figure out who I am without getting the whole story. Mute's note. She says that she's a failure of a security program, so what does that make me? What kind of person am I? How can I learn from their mistakes? How can I make sure that the construct that was here before me, the one who trusted you, well, like, how can I live up to that? I think I can only find out by reading more and doing it with you, the person she trusted. Is that okay? Of course. Thanks. Ah, itchy nose. Ah, okay. Okay then, Miss Investigator, lead on. Well, shit. We might as well start from the beginning then. Deja vu. This is the version of Mute that killed herself last night. Queen Consort, O-Un-Ah, was the president of Mungungal University who was having an affair with Counselor Ryu, and the one who killed Old Butte. President and Chief Counselor Ryu Hyun-soo, later called Emperor Taejo, after founding the new dynasty. He was like having a secret relationship with O-Un-Ah and getting his brother to bribe other counselors. Angry face, sad face. Okay, whatever. She lied about everything else. She's probably lying about the pants thing too. Princess Ryu was the daughter of Emperor Ryu and Queen O-Un-Ah. Try living in an English language computer, kid. Now that's confusing. Okay, whatever. Huh. Staring at a wall? Jeez, Un-Ah sure was a mess. Well, now we know why. So, I used to be the patient type, I guess. Heo Song Bok was a security officer in a relationship with a card hustler named Mimi. Heo So Young was his aunt. I love that little coy smile. Okay, so everything he says, the opposite's true, right? Sorry, that was too far. I knew, like, even given the lies, we believed in this to the end. Can I just, like, page down? No? Come on. No, it doesn't really sound like storing people in analog bodies really worked out well either. Digital seems a lot safer to me. Like, okay, sure. It's pretty convincing. I am convinced. That is a speech that convinces. She has such a nice, friendly face now. You'll forgive me if I don't turn into a pushover like that, right? Old Mute's lieutenant was Heo So-young. Her husband was Professor Kim and had a daughter named So-hee. And in the end, she died alone because of Old Mute's actions. Really? Counselor of Justice Yang. He was called Minister Yang in the new dynasty, and he replaced another Yang post-meritocracy. He seemed to antagonize Old Mute a lot. Counselor of Culture Tae. He was called Minister Tae in the new dynasty. He replaced Counselor Lee post-meritocracy. That's really different than the old council dynamic. Counselor of Engineering Han. He was called Minister Han in the new dynasty. He replaced Counselor Kim post-meritocracy. Counselor of State Smith. He was called Minister Smith in the new dynasty. He replaced another Smith post-meritocracy. Awful fucking computer girl. I like that. That's a good nickname. Just to be perfectly clear, little sister means lesbian lover, right? Heo A. Chong was a well-known actress. She was sleeping with a peasant girl, Mei Chine, but they broke up when she quit the theater and was bought by Ryu, along with her little sister. We haven't read about this person before, yada yada yada. Chief Counselor Smith was leader of the Mungungwa until he stepped down for Ryu. He was also Counselor of State, but handed down that role to his son. So even he believed it was Seo Young's fault? Sounds like the culture shift wasn't really that smooth, huh? Liar. Queen Consort Oh-una was the president of Mungungwa University, who was having an affair with Counselor Ryu, and the one who killed Old Mute. Professor Kim, husband of Seo Young and father of So-hee. He had an interesting relationship with the family maids. Liar, liar, liar. Old Mute is the woman I should be, but my memory was erased by Oh-una. She was 1600 years old at that time. That's not what the data says, you liar. Okay, that's a lie and cruel. Lies. Seo Young had a daughter named So-hee. I wonder what happened to her. You know, like, it's a good thing she didn't believe wearing pants. You know, on account of they'd be on fire.